Hello, and welcome back to Rainbow Magician Tarot. My name is Mary, and this is sort of like a part 2 video to the chakra tarot reading that I just posted a few days ago. So that will be the last video posted on this channel. The link will be in the description if you're interested in watching that. So I did a pick a card for each of the chakra points. So if you want, you can watch that one first. You can see what card you're drawn to, and then you can skip to those specific chakra points in this video because we will be spending time on each chakra until we get to the end, and we'll do a sort of a meditation to balance all of them. So it's up to you if you want to watch this all the way through, or if you just want to watch the ones that you clicked on from the pick a card reading. So this is going to be sort of ASMR style, or attempting anyway. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll get right into it. So we're going to start off by kind of cleansing the space with some incense, setting an intention. Okay, so setting my intention to cleanse this space, help bring us into greater alignment. So I'm just gonna do some cleansing. Get all around your head, behind you, under you. Okay. So what we're going to do, actually, what we're going to do next is add some spray, just to incorporate the water element here. So we have the fire and the air from the incense, we have water, and we have stones for earth. So we'll go ahead and spritz, 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 spritz. So get that energy flowing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be, for each of the chakra points, I will be showing you a crystal that corresponds with that chakra. We'll set an intention with the crystal, and then I have a couple of things to go along with each chakra. So I have some sigils that I have drawn in here that will assist with each chakra. So I will be drawing those for you with the selenite wand. And I also, so this is going to be something that's going to be a little bit different. Hopefully it will be enjoyable for you, but I decided that I wanted to try to incorporate my personal love of writing, and specifically poetry, into sort of a healing kind of vibe. So I decided to choose a few of my poems that I have previously written and choose one essentially for each chakra. So I did not write these with the intention of matching them to a chakra, so it's a little rough there. It's not going to perfectly like match up with everything that chakra stands for, but I just kind of intuitively chose them on how I felt they might relate to certain blockages within those chakras. So if you are into that, I hope that it will be pleasant for you. I'll be reading, you know, each one for each of the chakras, and you know, if you're not into it, I won't be offended. You can skip ahead. You don't have to watch this. You know, you have your free will. I know not everyone's into poetry. Not everyone will be into my poetry. That's fine. But if you're open to it and you're open to receiving some of the messages that you might get from it, I just thought I would include that into this sort of healing session that we're doing tonight. So without further ado, we will get started. So we're going to start with the root chakra. So that is at the base of your spine. So for that chakra, I have chosen this. No nails, so I can't really tap that well. But this is a carnelian, blanking on the name. But as you can see there, very beautiful stone. Kind of is like a cave. I mean, you could say that it looks like it looks like a lot of things that I won't say in order to keep this PG, but yes, I love carnelian. It's a very safe stone. Like, it makes you feel very safe if you want to like imagine yourself kind of being cocooned by it. That's what I like to do. So you just focus your energy, your intent on this stone. We will ask this carnelian to help us assist us in balancing or aligning our root chakra, helping us to feel more grounded and safe and stable. So if you have any specific intention you would like to add for your root chakra, you can focus your intention on the stone. I will set this down. So now I will draw a sigil for you for the root chakra. So I've taken these sigils from, these are not mine, these are from the Tail Swan Blind Spot deck, which is also an app that you can download. So if you're interested, I can link that below. But for the root chakra, I chose a sigil to assist with fear. So this is a sigil to alleviate fear. So it will be a calming sigil for you. So I will be drawing that with this selenite wand. So we will start. So we go. Is the sigil for fear. So let that marinate in your energy. So, for the root chakra, I have chosen a poem. So I'll be reading off my computer. I apologize. I just don't have these memorized, so just doing what we're gonna do. So the poem I've chosen for the root chakra is called This Moment. So I will read this for you now. This moment. In this moment, I'm in the past. Old ghosts filling my vision, demanding my attention in loud whispers, saying, don't forget that you are hurt. In this moment, I'm in the future. Dark fears scrambling, to-do list shouting, don't forget that you're not better yet. In this moment, I search for freedom. And in doing so, I make myself unfree, trapped between the iron bars of past and future, peeking through the cracks, waiting for something to call now. In this moment, I am far away from this moment. In this moment, I am escaping. In this moment, I am on the cold, dark floor, staring into blackness, staring into a void of blackness I call hell. Void which exists inside myself. In this moment, I am. inside myself, trying to be outside myself, looking in. I am outside myself, looking in, trying to coax what's left inside out. In this moment, I am slowly realizing that to be inside of myself or outside myself is to abandon myself completely, to see myself as separate from myself. In this moment, I am allowing myself to be separate from myself. In this moment, I am allowing myself to be not in this moment. In this moment, I find freedom in allowing myself to be unfree. In this moment, I exist, and that is enough. So, I chose this poem because it relates to being in the present moment, which includes any feelings that you might have of not being in the present moment. So it's a little bit contradictory to think about, but the present moment is really all that exists. So if you're in the present moment and your mind is in the past or your mind is in the future, the way to ground yourself back into the present moment is to realize that you are thinking these things. You're thinking, your mind is traveling to the past and it's traveling to the future inside of the context of the present moment. So in the present moment, you are in the past. In the present moment, you are in the future. Wherever you are mentally, in the present moment is where you are. So wherever you're going to be, just be there, right? Wherever you're going to be there, and see if you can plant your roots there so that you're not scrambling around trying to get back to the present moment as if it's something that you ever left, because you never did. So when we're talking about being where you are, being in the present moment, it's not something that you gotta run to, right? It's just about realizing you're already there, no matter what mental state you're in, accepting that state is what your present moment currently looks like. So hope that kind of helps a little bit with some of that grounding, because grounding is not all about coming out of the mind and into the body. Sometimes it's about encompassing the mind. It's about allowing the mind to exist within the body. That kind of makes sense. So it's not a fight between mind and body. It's realizing that mind and body coexist, right? They're not really separate from each other. That's just a perception that we have. So if you can realize that they coexist and that you always are where you are, then the present moment or coming back down to earth, it's not something that you have to find. It's not something that you have to do. It's just something that you have to realize that you already are. So that was the root chakra. So we'll move on now to the sacral chakra. So I have here a piece of, what is this? Orange calcite. So you can see it's a very beautiful looking stone. Looks like a candy almost, like a tangerine. So we'll set our intention to this orange calcite for it to help us in balancing our sacral chakra, which is just under the belly button. And this chakra rules our emotional center. So this is where our creativity, our emotions, our sensuality all lies. So if you want to have any specific intentions that you would like to set for your sacral chakra, you can focus your gaze on the stone and set the intention now. So for the sacral chakra, I have chosen a sigil that is designed to be the antidote to shame. So a lot of times when we have blockages in the sacral chakra, we're dealing with shame, feeling like there's something bad about us. There can be a lot of blockages with shame relating to sexuality in the sacral chakra. shame of not being able to express emotions as well. Anything that's kind of a restrictive energy can be a blockage in that area. So this sigil should help with some of that. So I'll be drawing that with this selenite wand. So go. You have that marinate with you. Feel that freedom of being able to express, being able to be, that flowy energy of complete non-restriction. Water. Okay. So the poem I have chosen for this chakra is called Where Are You? I'll be reading from my computer. So here we go. Where are you? Give me an honest answer. You say, at work, at the gym, at the store, in class, at home, in bed. I say, you're wrong. You're up inside my head. Are you tired? Don't bullshit me now. Exhaustion leaks from the pupils of your eyes. Are you hurting? It's okay to tell me now. I won't judge you if you cry. Show me where it hurts. You say, here, right there, and here. I say, I know. Where are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much denial are you in? Are you happy where you are? Are you happy with where you are? Those are two very different things. Tell me, do you know yourself? Does it scare you? Do you know God? I think I do. Have you walked on your hands and knees, bleeding through the dark, thrashing blindly, screaming, where is it? Pleading, where is the light? Crying, shouting, where are you? God, where are you? Where are you? Are you drowning? Have you already drowned? Aren't you tired of swimming? Think you'll reach land sometime soon? No. Can't be that far off. Can I tell you a secret? There is no land to be found. Want to know another? You don't stop existing once you drown. Pain doesn't kill you. It just makes you wish you were dead. But death doesn't kill you either. So what are you going to do? Where am I? See, I gave up the fight quite a while ago. I let the currents drag me down, and buried somewhere in the ocean ground, I felt my heart stop, and I felt myself continue on. And it was so frightening, but I wasn't afraid. And it was amazing, but I wasn't amazed. And it was so jarring, but I wasn't jarred. And it was so scarring, but I wasn't scarred. And I was arriving, but I was not arrived. I know you are living. Are you alive? Where are you? And where are we? Somewhere lost in this endless sea. I can't find you until you stop fighting the waves that tumble you closer and closer to hell. Can't reach you until you stop fighting yourself. Maybe we can learn to see ourselves in the fear we see mirrored in the eyes of each other. Where is the love, darling? You're floating in it. Sink into it, let it carry you away softly There's peace when you surrender to darkness. Where am I? Found the love. Where are you? Have you had enough? So I chose that one because it is about surrender, which can be a very powerful energy for the sacral chakra. Surrendering to your emotions. Ending the internal battle with yourself. This battle of restriction, of trying to force yourself to be somewhere you're not. It can be a very powerful thing to just kind of surrender to wherever you are. To let that be okay. So we'll move on to the solar plexus now. So for the solar plexus, I have chosen this piece of citrine. So the solar plexus lives right under your rib cage, and this is your willpower center. So this is where your confidence, your self-worth, your personal power, your sense of identity all kind of lies. So we will use this beautiful stone to set our intention to bring this chakra into balance, to stabilize our identity, our feeling of power. If you have any specific intention you would like to set for the solar plexus chakra, you can do that now. So I'll go ahead and draw the sigil that I have for this chakra. So for the solar plexus, I have a chakra that will be very I have a sigil that will be very empowering. So this is a sigil that will assist with coming into alignment with your own, a sense of free will, which can sometimes be very needed for the solar plexus. In order to be able to take our power back, we have to realize that we have free will and that we have choice. So here we go. Let that marinate in your energy. Feel that energy of choice. Always have choice. Always have choice. So, for this chakra, I've chosen a poem titled The Wolf and the Sheep. So, I will read that for you now. One day, we'll all wake up and realize that we've been trying to protect ourselves by raging against ourselves. We say we are only looking out for those who cannot look out for themselves. Kill the wolf to protect the sheep. Feel compassion for some, but not for others. What do you make of that? You feel compassion for some of yourself, but not all of it. The virtues and the victimhood, the vices and the villain. Life is a chess match between good and evil, and the good must be victorious. No matter what the cost, the lives lost, the sacrifices made, all means to a worthy end. And all your martyrs will be remembered. But what of the wolf? Does no one mourn for it? Or is it only those who don't know what it's done, who haven't seen the blood spilled out its teeth, who haven't heard the whimper of its prey, who haven't felt its jaw clenched tightly around their own neck? No, it is hard to mourn for the wolf when it tore everything you loved to shreds. But the wolf was innocent once, too, before the hunger took over. Is there a way it could have abstained, or is nature the one to blame? It only wants the same one thing as any of us wants: to be satisfied, to fill that aching hole in the pit of our bellies, to be free from the prison of desire. All suffering, just a means to an end. But there's one thing I must confess, and it is this: I don't think we're meant to win. There is another, and it is this: I think I am the wolf. I think I am the wolf and the sheep, and I think I am the earth that lies between. I think you are too. I think there is no difference between the things we love and the things we fear. Both are mirrors, but only one we admire, while the other one shows us a reflection we can't bear to see. But I have seen it, and I have come back from the point of no return. I have crossed that line into the unforgiving darkness, and I fell in so deep I was drowning, unable to breathe, unable to recognize my own face right in front of me. But truth brought me back from the depths of despair, only to teach me that I am what I fear, and I am what I love, and I am the earth that lies between. The sheep and the wolf, all wrapped up in one, the dangerous and the vulnerable, the villain and the victim. I am the one that no one mourns for, and the one with the glorious grave. And so I will mourn for the wicked, along with the righteous, and pray that one day I too will be remembered for the suffering I felt, the beauty I created, and the earth that lies between. So, I chose this one for the solar plexus because it relates to concepts of self versus other. So a lot of times we have judgments towards that which is other, towards that which is bad. And in the end, those judgments only end up hurting ourselves, because it means that whatever we have judged as bad out there, we have judged it as bad within ourselves. And so we live in this constant state of war in between two aspects of ourselves: the aspect of ourselves that is good, our ego that we're so identified with, and everything else that we've disowned, but that's still a part of us. So it can be very empowering to take ownership of that which is not good within us, and to recognize ourselves in those that we fear. So we will now move on to the heart chakra. So for the heart chakra, I've chosen this beautiful piece of emerald. So we will set our intention with this emerald to balance our heart chakra in alignment and harmony with the rest of our chakras, so that we may feel love and compassion for ourselves and for others. And if you have any specific intention you would like to work with for the heart chakra, please focus your gaze on this stone and say your intention now. For the heart chakra, I have chosen a sigil that will help to break perceptions of isolation. So this will help with loneliness, help you to feel more connected. So, let that marinate in your field. Feel how you are connected to everything around you. Feel the connection from my heart to yours. That you're surrounded by infinite energy. So there is no loneliness when everything is infinite. So the heart chakra, I have chosen a poem titled The Answer. So I will read that now. The answer. We are all grieving the loss of ourselves. Every song, every poem I've ever written has been nothing more than a call, a plea, a desperate shout into the void for myself. All I've ever wanted is to come back home. I do not know myself, even after all this time. Even after all this writing, all this self-obsessing, all this self-improving, I am as foreign to myself as I have ever been. I am crying out. I am crying out for myself. I have been crying out for myself for years. I said I wanted to find God. We are all trying to find God, even those of us who don't believe in God. We are searching for that thing which we have lost that we cannot name, that aching hole inside ourselves, that missing piece, that missing home. We taste the traces of our lost selves and call it God. We taste the traces of ourselves in each other. You say. You remind me of someone, I think. Someone I used to know. That nameless sense of familiarity for something we felt long ago. Haven't you sensed it too? You used to be me. I used to be you. We all used to be something remarkable, something unnameable, something like what we call God. We have forgotten this. We have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten. But how long must we go on? How long until you answer the call of yourself that you learned to ignore so long ago? How long until the hand we've been reaching out into the darkness finally grabs itself? The void is whispering, remember. It tells you softly, like how all rivers lead to the ocean, you will find your way back to yourself. Listen to it now. Feel it in every cell of your body, every fiber of your being. Listen. Find me. I speak this like an answer to a prayer. Find me. Find yourself. Find God. This was never supposed to be an individual process. How can we expect to find ourselves when we are so separated from each other? How can we expect to find each other when we are so separated from ourselves? I will find you. I will find myself. I will find God. speak this as a promise. I ask this as a question. Will you answer? So that was the answer which I chose for the heart, because it talks about recognizing the self in the other, recognizing the divinity in the self and in the other. It's about that connection that happens when we can see ourselves mirrored back to us in someone else. And so I hope that you can find that in some way in your life today, or tonight, or tomorrow. But we will now move on to the throat chakra. Okay, so for the throat chakra, I have chosen this piece of chrysocolla. It's very beautiful, as you can see. It has a nice little sparkly cave in it. So, the throat chakra has to do with how we assign meaning to things, has to do with communication, expression, memory. So, we will set our intention to use this stone to help us to bring this chakra into alignment. And if you have a specific intention that you would like to set relating to the throat chakra, please focus your gaze on this stone and recite your intention now. So for the throat chakra, I'll be drawing a sigil that will help us to recognize the meaning that we are attributing to things. So this is a really good, this will be a good sigil if you tend to have blockages in your throat chakra that come from assigning meaning to something in a way that is harmful to you. So we tend to assign meaning to things implicitly and unconsciously, and a lot of times the meaning that we assign to things is not necessarily the inherent meaning, because all meaning is just a matter of perception. It's what we create. So this will be a very empowering sigil for any stuck energy that is too attached to certain meanings to not be able to allow for the ultimate truth to come through. So, go. Let that marinate in your field. Feel that kind of opening sensation of curiosity. Being open to all meanings without having to attach to any single one of them. this chakra, I've chosen a poem that is titled "The Only Certainty is Uncertainty." So this is something I wrote kind of more as a journal entry, so it's not that like nice and clean of a poem. I would say, not clean as in like dirty, but I mean as in like it's like in its rough draft, we'll just say that. So I hope that will still be okay with you. Not that you haven't, like, anyway. Let's just read the poem, why don't we? Okay. The only certainty is uncertainty. Oh, what a relief. The world may never make sense. I may never know why I'm here. I may never know what's real. There's freedom in realizing I don't have to be anywhere but where I am. I can go to sleep. I can eat. I can play. I can see what it would be like to hold someone's hand, to call a friend out of the blue, to let the sun soak up my skin, to lay on my back at the picnic tables at the park and stare at the ceiling of the wooden pavilion, watch the wasps as they buzz about their nests, take it in, every memory hanging in the air, appearing like bubbles that a little kid blows and popping just as suddenly. A zip line, a snow cone, a wet swimsuit chafing my thighs, a gathering of children sitting in a circle, tiredly awaiting the next instructions for the day. Pop. The memory dissipates and new ones appear. No rhyme or reason to the order of the years. And I think perhaps I have always been here. I recreate my past, present, and future with the shedding of every tear and the shedding of every fear. It is okay to not know what anything means. Everything is exactly what it's supposed to be. And you are doing an excellent job at existing, when existence seems so damn confusing. But there is no winning, and there is no losing. And there is also both in every moment you are choosing. Forgetting is just as much creation as remembering. So just sit back and watch as creation unfolds around you, without any effort at all. There is nothing that is certain. That is my greatest hope of all. So, I chose that poem because, again, our throat can be blocked by the way we assign meaning to things, and sometimes when we get stuck in these feelings of uncertainty, it's this kind of grasping desire to need to find a meaning, to attach a meaning to something, and sometimes the only thing we can really grasp onto is the certainty that there is no certainty, that any truth you find could be not the truth, or not the whole truth, the next second. So it's finding an allowance for that by kind of finding relief in the idea that whatever happens, you never know what you don't know. And so there's always some new meaning that could be added, and it could be positive just as much as it could be negative. But there's freedom in realizing that it doesn't have to be just one or the other. So we'll move on to the third eye chakra. So for the third eye, I've chosen this beautiful lapis lazuli. Wish I had nails so I could like tap on these, but I don't. So, but anyway, we will use this to set our intention to bring the third eye into alignment with the rest of our chakras to help us to see clearly. So the third eye has to do with perception, clarity, your connection to your intuition. So we are intending to allow us to see clearly, to kind of dissolve some of the resistances that we might have to opening our perception. So if you have any specific intention you'd like to add for the third eye, go ahead and focus your gaze on this stone and add your intention now. Okay. So, for the third eye, I've chosen a sigil that is titled, "You Don't Know But You Think You Know." So this is a good one for helping you to realize what you don't know that you don't know. So anything that you think you have figured out, or that you think you are perceiving something a certain way when it is not actually fully the case, the sigil will kind of help break down any of those, I guess you could say, illusions that you might be holding on to. I don't really like the term illusion because I don't really think that it's always as simple as illusion versus truth. I think that it's more about perceptions and how one perception might be true one second but not true the next. So this will help you to open your perception if you have attached to something that may have been true before but might not be true now. So we'll go ahead and draw that. So let that sink into your energy. See if you can feel that widening sensation of maybe there is more here that I am not aware of. Looking in the wrong places. So, for this chakra, I've chosen a poem that is significantly shorter than all the rest, so congratulations if you chose this and you don't want to listen to a long poem. So, this poem is called it's called Revelations, sorry. So, no more revelations, I say to my reflection. I don't want to seek the answers anymore. The reflection stares back. Tell me, in what moment of your life was there not a revelation? Every breath is an answer. I say, I don't want to hurt anymore. It's the questions, not the answers, that hurt you. How do I stop hurting? Ask different questions. How do I start living? Yes. So, that is Revelations. And I chose this poem because this poem I wrote when I realized that I was attaching myself to this idea of there being a final answer, and it was so excruciating to gain insights and gain revelations, only to then the next day have them not work anymore because there was some new problem I was facing, and it just seemed like I could never get the final answer. But and I realized that that was all just a matter of feeling like there is something wrong if I don't come to this sense of completion. And so when you change your perspective to ask different questions, instead of why am I hurting, why am I suffering, why is this happening to me, if you ask those questions, you're going to get the answers. But the answers aren't going to fulfill you. So if you ask different questions, such as how do I start living? How do I start enjoying my life? How do I feel contentment in my life? How do I feel passion in my life? Those are the types of answers that are going to fulfill you. So it's just a matter of changing that perception. So we will now move on to the final chakra, which is the crown chakra. So for the crown, I have chosen this gorgeous piece of amethyst. So our crown is responsible for our connection to the divine. So we will use this stone to help us to set our intention to align our crown chakra with the rest of our chakras. Allow that divine light, that divine energy to come and filter in through our crown chakra and down through the rest of our chakras. So if you have any specific intention that you'd like to add for the crown, focus on this stone and do so now. So, for the crown chakra, I have chosen a sigil that will assist with transcending the temporal aspect of yourself. So when I say transcending, I don't necessarily mean that in like a getting rid of or like escaping, but something that will just help you to see beyond the confines of your temporal physical body. So we will go ahead, draw this. Okay. Just let that in. Feel that trickle of energy begin to come through your crown. So for this chakra, I'll be reading a poem titled Into the Deep. When you leave this body, will you miss it? Watch as reality bleeds You long to hold it. Feel the colors dripping down you. Like hot wax, they melt your essence, forging a pathway from scalp to foot soles, washing away just as quickly as it came, to a place far away where it beckons you to follow, and you know, deep in your bones and the crooks of your elbows, that it is time to go, but you wish you could stay. But this is the price that you said you would pay. Trade the darkness for the light of day. Save the darkness for the light of day. But the darkness is your only way. It is your only way. And now you're walking down the path, hungry and alone, and the stones beneath your feet are calling you back home, to the waters where there's a rough, vast wilderness in blue that you have always felt somehow connected to, and the time is drawing nearer as your thoughts are becoming clearer. It is time to bring the dreamer into the dream. Take a breath and fall into this world where you were meant to be, where all the fish here know your name. They've been singing it for years, waiting for your face to appear like a vision or a memory. It is your reflection that called out to you from the surface of the waves. It is your own voice you hear now in the chaos when you wake. This is what you have created. This is what you have created, and you cannot erase. There is only one way out of creation, and that is to become it, so that you are now watching yourself create. You are watching yourself create yourself. Oh, what a beautiful game to play. There is only one way out of the water, and that is through the ocean floor, into the deep and out the hidden door. This is what you were created for. This is what you were created for. So, I chose this one for the crown chakra because it is essentially about kind of realizing the construction of reality, realizing that you are a creator, that you created yourself, you are creating yourself every moment of every day. And that the only way out is through. It's kind of a saying that you hear a lot in spiritual circles, but it's very true. So, with that, we will now begin our guided meditation. So, pause to drink some water real fast. So, I have this lovely singing bowl that I will be playing as I guide you through this meditation. So first I want you to, if you can, if you're lying down, just do what feels good to you. But if you feel like stretching, stretch your arms up as high as you can and stretch them out. And just let them slowly fall down as you're still stretching all the way out through your fingertips. It's really good for releasing tension in the neck and the shoulders. So I like to do that in the morning when I wake up. And it's good if you're like me right now, you start to get a little bit of tension back here just from sitting too long. So get in a nice position. Close your eyes. just settle into your body. I want you to take some breaths. When you breathe in, I want you to imagine breathing into the space around your body. When you breathe out, that energy kind of settles back into your body. So you're breathing into the space around you, and as you breathe out, it settles into you. Feels good to make some audible exhales. You can do that. Do one more. I want you to take your attention to the top of your head. I want you to imagine some beautiful golden light that is raining down through the top of your head. It's trickling down like water in a faucet. It trickles down through the top of your head. It swirls around. It moves down into your third eye area. And it swirls around. And it trickles down further into your throat. It swirls around. And it trickles down further into your heart. It swirls around. And it trickles down further into your solar plexus. It swirls around. And it trickles down further into your sacral chakra. And it swirls around there. And then finally it trickles down into your root chakra, where it swirls around. And it trickles down and out into the earth. And now I want you to imagine some roots growing up through the earth. And they grow into a trunk of a tree that begins at the base of your spine at your root chakra. And this tree trunk grows up through your root chakra, and it grows upwards into your sacral chakra. It grows upwards into your solar plexus chakra, and it grows upwards into your heart chakra. And the branches continue to grow upwards through your throat chakra. And they continue to grow through your third eye chakra. And finally, they reach through the top of your head, your crown chakra. So your whole body is now the trunk of this tree. Feel that solidness. Now I want you to imagine that this tree trunk is hollow. So inside of it is like a funnel, where you can funnel the divine light that comes in through your crown chakra, through the center of this tree trunk, down through all of your chakras, and down and out through the earth. So feel that shower of energy pouring through, starting from the top of the center of the tree, moving down through the body of the tree all the way back down. And just feel these two forces of the energy from the earth and the energy from the divine heavens intermingling throughout all of your chakras. When you are ready, you bring yourself back into the room and open your eyes. So thank you very much for joining me tonight. I hope that you found this relaxing, and I hope that you gained some insights or just some good vibes that help you feel a bit more aligned, a bit more balanced. And I thank you for being here with me, for sharing this space, and I hope that you will come back to my channel soon. If you are interested in a private reading with me, the information for that will be in the description of this video. So thank you very much, and I will see you again sometimes very soon.